so the buzz in town right now is the Smart Money Woman series.
Handle my things with care.
Let me handle your things with care.
Your presentation this morning was, to put it plainly, abysmal.
Please.
Do not interrupt me.
What? You know him?
Wait, what?
Well, guys, I think she needs to hear it from us.
Zuri, you're back.
Asshole.
Fresh fish.
Why are you doing like this is not the Lagos that we're living in? Do you want everybody to know that we're broke?
Let me introduce to you the never dead lifestyle.
About turn, forward march.
In the house today with major people from that. All these smiles are very sincere. Today's Woman Speaks. Our intentional guest is Adesua. Who incidentally bears my name.
In the show.
But the real Adesua is actually Lala Akindoju.
Yes.
Where? And then sitting next to Lala we have the gorgeous Lara. But Lara in the series.
Yeah.
Lara is what otherwise?
Toni Tones.
Toni Tones. And then we also have the lady who made it happen. Because she had this idea in her head. And I dare say because she loves money.
Yeah, she sure does.
She loves money. You know, smart money woman. Arese. You're one of those people who just call Arese, that's all. You don't have to add
I
anything
love
else.
it actually.
The reason we've chosen to feature Adesua in the series, I mean as a cast, because she fits the perfect picture of some of the challenges today's women face. She's married, she's holding on a career. Oh, I mean, what do you think?
Yes, so Adesua in the series, she's married, she has a child, she has a career, and she has to deal with things like in-laws, what people think of her, a husband who's not pulling his weight at home, who's cheating. You know, she has to deal with all these things, and I just say it takes its toll on her. It takes its toll on her.
Did you identify with the character in any way?
No, not at all. Lala didn't.
That's Lala as a person.
Lala did not. But I knew that, like, it's difficult to read about her in the book and not empathize with her. You know, once you read the book and you read about Adesua, if you're not her, you know somebody that's her.
Exactly. I was just going to say that.
You know somebody that's her. You know somebody who is married to somebody else, to a man who's not providing, or who doesn't have to provide. He's not just working. He's not earning his own money, and so she has to take care of the whole family. And that is taking its toll on the relationship, on the marriage, and then she has these friends, and then she's not confident enough to tell them what's really going on. You know, there are many women like that in today's society.
Adesua was actually one of my favorite characters in the show. I really empathize with her. Sometimes you really just want to slap her. Because like, for God's sake.
That's Lara, by the way.
Lara, who is Lara?
Oh, Lara is the tough one. She's the no-nonsense one, and she's the one that tries to keep them grounded. She's a bit more responsible, but
she's the one that had all the money saved. She does.
Her own mumu button is her family. So Adesua's mumu button is her husband. Lara's mumu button is her family, her mom, her siblings, all of that. So, but reading Adesua's story, you really empathize with her, as Lala said, and sometimes you just want to slap slap her because it's like
wake up, girl.
But you know how marriage is, it's not easy. When you want to make your marriage work, I feel like a lot of women can relate with that. But on the other hand, it's like, God, punch this guy in the face or at least divorce him or something. You know. So you feel that frustration. She takes you on a roller coaster of emotions.
Do you know what's so interesting? So as a writer, I think that you visualize what you want to write like while you're writing it. And I would say if Zuri was cast in a movie, like who would play her? So I'll think things like that, but I didn't really commit to the idea that I was going to turn the book into a movie or a TV series until maybe like the end of 2018. 2018, maybe 2017, I was still thinking about it. But yeah, like now I just still watch it, like watch the rushes or watch the episodes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I sat in your office and you are writing in your pajamas. And these characters have actually come to life. It's just the most beautiful thing. And everyone that's cast as the characters is so true.
They're great actors.
They're amazing. Amazing.
But is this more than acting though? What do you think? Is it more than acting, or is it because you actually did get into those characters because you know them?
Well, for me as an actor, I'm more of a method actor. So for me to be able to act, I need to get truly into the mindset of the character that I'm in. They say that you never judge a character you're playing. So even if you're bad, I feel lots of villains. Even if you're playing, you can't judge a character. For me, I don't judge character. For me, I get on the character's side actually. I create a backstory. First thing, so if I'll create a backstory. So for me, I have to step and become that person mentally. I think it's why a lot of actors are very emotional sorts of people, because when you're acting, you're going through different emotions, because if you're at least a method actor, the actor that taps into true emotion, you really feel whatever it is you're feeling. If you're playing a sad scene, you're tapping into sadness. If you're playing pain, you're tapping into real pain. If you're playing hurt anger, you're tapping into real anger. So a lot of actors are just kind of like, because each day you're asking us to go through a roller coaster of emotions.
No, but you do stage and you've done film, you've done this. This is series, you've done it all, and then you get this character Adesua to run. By the way, it's Adesua. Yes. And you know what Adesua actually means is born into prosperity. And there you are. No prosperity.
Adesua is rich. She's successful as a lawyer. She's very successful, even though she's conservative. But you see her husband, he's a give me man. Like he's just a, that's the word, bloodsucker. Just a parasite.
You know what's actually interesting about Adesua's character for me was that in Africa in general, we always have this mindset that a woman who is ambitious or career driven is somehow a monster at home. So when she has marital problems, it means she must be doing something. She must be carrying shoulder for her husband, or something like that. And I thought it was important to showcase like the complexity of those stories, which is she can be strong at work and a complete baby at home, which is Adesua. So she's so soft, like in the domestic, setting. She doesn't have a voice. She lets him get away with anything.
Murder.
And it was just showcasing that thing, because I always used to be so confused about that, because there's no successful woman that I know that doesn't want to love, that doesn't want to submit to her husband, that doesn't want to feel valued at home. And to think that because a woman, we have this as a society, we have this thing that if a woman makes more money than her husband, then she's automatically going to be bossing him around.
So
and it was I needed to show like a different side, that women are not, they can be powerful at work and weak at home. So that's a story that's not told enough.
You see her in the courtroom and defending, and then she goes home. The guy's not pulling his weight, and
she lets him go. Like sometimes he tells her things that are dumb.
She'll even be begging.
Like he tells her stories that are very stupid, and she apologizes.
How did she pick the guy anyway in the first place?
I think my backstory for her was that they fell in love, like from university, and he had a lot of promise, and he was one of those guys who would be like, man, my ideas, my plan, by the time we execute this thing, is gonna be big, and she, law student, career girl, already clear, her direction is clear, but her husband, Soji, he's just the guy who'll be like, look, man, babe, I have this meeting with these 5 guys.
The dreamer.
And, and then you will have that conversation. It would be exciting in the moment. And no follow-throughs, and then they got married. And being married is different from dating, because then you are now inside, and then you can see things in a way. My mother used to say that when you are dating, you are watching black and white TV. When you are married, it's now colored screen. Like you are now seeing very well. And so it's almost.
Can you identify with her?
In real life?
Yeah.
I know, it's the color screen I was watching before. I'm still watching. You know,
it's not like your color is now HD.
So crystal clear from the day one. Because I give love to wear glasses, but that's a different conversation. But you know, so she I feel like that's how they fell in love. And
so she wasn't deceived.
She believed in him, and you know, there's nothing wrong with believing in a man. I also think that maturity should come into play, where a woman has the ability to look into that relationship 5 years ahead, and she has to be able to look into it from where she is now and say that if this continues and doesn't turn into something real, we're going to be in trouble. She has to either have the foresight or have people around her that can tell her, and she would believe and she would trust them.
That's where the Laras of this world come from.
Exactly. Ladies, just know that potential does not pay the bills.
Potential doesn't do nothing.
Potential does not pay the bills. And
also, she wasn't financially literate. She wasn't as financially literate as she should have been, which is something the book does for us.
What would that have made a difference? What difference would that have made?
So to be fair, I wouldn't say that Adesua was not financially literate. I just think like everybody, like her, she was good with her own money, right? But she had a weak spot when it came to her husband, right? So she was making emotional decisions as opposed to things she would do, you know, herself. Just like Lara. Lara was very good with her own money. She was good with investing. She was good with budgeting. But her family was her own Achilles heel. So I feel like it's to show, the characters also show us how we're not perfect people. Everyone has different things, you know, that they struggle with. With Lara, it's about black tax, where she's the first child. You know, she has all these responsibilities with her siblings and her mom.
So it's black tax.
Yes.
I learned it.
Yeah, on this set.
Smart money woman is listening to that term.
You know, it's so interesting because you know, because I went on a book tour to these different African countries. What was so interesting to me was how so many South African women, Tanzanian women, Kenyan women really related to, especially Adesua's character, because she's what I like to call a secret female breadwinner, right?
Because nobody comes out openly to say
Adesua's character for me is the most relatable, very relatable. Nigerian women especially are going to relate a lot.
But she's just telling us Tanzanian, South African,
Exactly.
African women.
African women. Yes.
This is me, or this is my best friend,
This is my sister.
This is my sister. Like it was so powerful, you know, for me. And even with Lara's issue with black tax, in South Africa, they were like, oh my God, this was a huge thing in the book for me, because we are like first generation post-apartheid children, and you feel like your parents are giving you lots of things, they've sacrificed, and now you get your first job and they expect you to take out a credit card, as in so that you can support their lifestyle and things like that, and you're basically out the gates. You already don't have a financial chance because you are going into debt because you want to, you know, help, you want to be responsible, you want to be good, but it's
killing
your future, your financial future, you know, at risk.
So tell me, is this really about money? Lara, smart money woman. But it's more than money, obviously.
It's the base of it, the heart of it is about money and financial responsibility, and I feel like it really teaches you how to be financially intelligent, which is very important. The average person isn't. I necessarily wasn't. I could have been much better with my money. The journey with Smart Money Woman taught me to be more responsible with my money, even just me as an actor that was on this set.
So take me to your real life. Like, you've taken this and taken it to your real life.
Yes, after reading the book and after playing this character, I sat down and I thought about my life and my finances, and I thought, I can be better. I wasn't bad, I wasn't terrible, but I thought I can be better. I can be more deliberate about my choices in growing my money, and I have taken steps since then. So definitely, I think the core of it is teaching, which is why I think she wrote the book in the first place. Teaching, especially how target market looks at things, young women how to be more financially
responsible.
Because we're not taught that growing up. The average African woman
money is like sex.
we're not exactly. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to look for a good man who that's the job to bring the money. But I mean, in today's world, come on, everything's completely changed. The women are independent. The women are breadwinners, secret breadwinners.
And there's supposed to be different ways, and nobody really wants to talk about it. One thing that stands out for me with Adesua is that she wouldn't even let her in-laws know that she was paying all the bills.
So is this good or bad?
It's bad.
It's 100% bad.
It's very bad.
It's 100%
because
bad.
whilst now it depends. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say it's bad just straight up. I think it depends. I have no problem with it's a partnership, the marriage. So we work together. We provide together. But if this man is going through a rough patch and the woman has to cover for them, and he understands and he appreciates her and he's genuinely looking for options and all of that, nobody needs to know who's doing what in the family.
Exactly.
But if he is cheating on her,
Like Soji,
lying to her, and then his family is insulting her, yelling at her, we better let them know the truth.
I want to add something. Nobody needs to know who's paying for what. However, you shouldn't lie that he's the one doing something that she's doing.
Yes.
That nobody needs to know.
Yes,
But
and
don't
let
start
nobody
lying
know
that he's
exactly
doing what she's doing. No, that's where the problem always
And then
starts.
she now gets insulted, and
Meanwhile,
it's ridiculous.
She paid your last year's rent. No.
One thing I want to chip in as well from the book is the relationships. I think that's something that's something Arese really highlights in the book, and how girl relationships mean so much more. And I'm very excited about that point because I'm one of those people who I dislike it when people say women don't support women or that women are their own worst enemies. I think that's an agenda that patriarchy has pushed, and you find that a young woman already believes that women are support her. Meanwhile, if we take practical stories, you find that many women have supported and are supporting other women.
So this is changing the narrative.
That narrative, yeah. So even when sometimes one friend is not saying the truth or something in this book,
They
forgive her because guess what? We show up for each other. We're there for each other, irrespective. Even if Lara is trying to be judgmental, and Lara
There's always that friend though.
There's always that Lara is not judgmental, but Lara is very
real.
This issue has happened. You're crying. Sorry, no problem. How do we fix it? What's the solution? Lara's gonna sit down. And she doesn't have time for that.
No, but there's always that friend that keeps you grounded.
Exactly. Yeah, Lara is definitely that friend that keeps you grounded. She's gonna show up and she's going to find out while the other people are petting you. Lara is going to be there coming up with a solution of how to turn this thing around. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. This has been shot over a period of how long?
Well, we shot for 6 weeks last year, but we've been doing post-production since, let's just say, really and truly since
December.
And then COVID came.
And then COVID came and hit, and it was just tough. But the thing is, for me, the production was one of the toughest things that I have ever done. I legitimately had PTSD, after. And
Please
I didn't want post-traumatic stress
disorder.
It was so tough. I felt like my village people most definitely followed me from Benin
Because they kicked you to do something.
Wow. It was amazing how different things could go wrong. I remember one of the biggest things for me was maybe the fire that happened during the club scene.
Fire?
Yes, there was a fire.
So this club scene.
No, were you there?
Were you there?
We were all there. Arese was the only person that wasn't
At the time.
So who called her?
So basically, this story does not even start from the club, right?
Exactly.
So I was on set every other day. I was on set almost every day. I was a very
At one point, the director kicked her out.
I was a very hands-on executive producer. But on this particular day, first of all, we tried to shoot this club scene at the rooftop of Saka. And we've been shooting there all day, and in the middle of the night, the generator just goes off, and the Saka staff, they've already left. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. We have 50 extras that need to be paid and need to go home regardless.
We have people who were there the whole day just to shoot that
scene. I had cameos from Arese, different people,
friends around.
And we basically could not shoot, and we had to basically shut it down that night. But I went to bed so angry. I woke up in the morning and I was gingered. I was like, listen, find out.
Exactly.
But I was so excited. So we started shooting. We were going to shoot at Cocoon on our Walla Road, and we were just like super
ready
fired
to
up.
go.
I was just like, let me go and do one sponsorship meeting because with all this executive production and everything,
Yes.
we still have to go and be looking for the money. So I had a sponsorship meeting, and I just look at my phone and I'm on my way to come and meet them. So it's like, okay, set up. By the time we start shooting, when I get there, everything. I start seeing missed calls from the production manager. I see a missed call from Lala. So I called the production manager first. I'm like, Marian, how far? What is going on? She's like, oh, don't worry. I said, I'm finding another location. I'm on a bike now. I was like, another location? What do you mean? Calm down. She was like, there's a fire. I said, sister, this is not the time to exaggerate. I'm not in the mood. If it was smoke, just say it was smoke. If it was fire, just say it was fire. And she goes, oh no. It's a fire. I said there was a fire truck, as in they.
Yeah, the fire service came.
They sent us out of the place.
Yeah, the fire service came. It was. Yeah.
But you see, the thing about this production, at that point, I had realized that is obstacle after obstacle, but every day you have to wake up being a fighter and a problem solver. Yeah. So I said, okay, first of all, before I even start calling them Bazoo, to find out that how they feel about us shooting in their club and setting their club on fire, let me find an alternative because this we must shoot it today because we moved it around. I remember calling another club that was down the road. The owner was like, I said, Chef, it is okay because you are calling me on a busy Thursday night, like you want to shoot now. I begged. He was like, okay, fine. I called him. I was like, listen, move to this place. As they just go down the road and blah blah blah. I now, as I'm on my way, I now start calling the owner of Cocoon that I'm sorry, oh. He was like, Arese, another Billy boy. Arese, so you won't bomb my club, baby? On top favor. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know how it happened, And do you know that he said, when I told him I was moving the crew and the cast to another location, he said, it's like, you're not serious. You better shoot in that place. Go back upstairs and shoot. Like after all this wahala, you must shoot. And I was so, I'm sure that was one of the times I started crying because I thought, wow, the way people are so invested in helping, in supporting these projects, like it was just so, imagine telling somebody that their club is on fire, but they're still like, okay, come and shoot.
But I think it's the essence of what you're doing, and maybe more of on your path. You taught people who are willing to help to make it happen because this story had to have life. The trouble and everything. Now this series, we've shot the first how many?
13.
The first 13. How is this different from Sex and the City for you guys? It was one of those series that we watched and we're watching girls enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
It's different.
First of all,
let me ask the cast first.
Sex and the City, we didn't have stereotypical characters. I feel like Sex and the City started a trend where there's someone that is in between. There is the goody one. There's the sexual. We didn't have those, which I really liked. And this show is African. I think the essence of it is African. You can really feel it, but it showed. I love the way Africa is portrayed in the show. It's very metropolitan, very modern, because a lot of the time the rest of the world doesn't get to see Africa in this light. They really don't. It's shot beautifully. The locations are beautiful. Another thing that I really, really love that I want to talk about is, and you touched on it before, is the fact that these women are doing very well. They're successful. They're independent. But they're stylish and they're beautiful and they're even sexy. I love that because in real life, when TV portrays women, if you're intelligent like me, you must be boring and you must be. I love that. Lara, oil and gas. Serious. Good at herself, but so stylish. I love that. Adesua, a lawyer, but by the time she knocks her colorful suit.
You know that what I think my favorite thing about Lala playing Adesua for me is the fashion. Like I've never seen Lala so glamorous.
See, let me tell you something. And she's a model. I always say this. Lala was like a supermodel in the show. I don't know. No, but she's like a DOP.
Like what?
Especially, it was like she was lit differently. Lit differently. That's not. Okay. I'm telling you. But you will see it. You guys, I'm not talking. You will see it. And I was like a supermodel.
Let me tell you, but I was this one suffering the most. I was the real house girl. So I don't know where this is coming from because you know the day
it would go wrong, but she would have to wear like her producer hat and then also wear like the actress. So there are times she'll call me sweet boss. So guess what?
Sweet boss.
SB. So basically, that they were supposed to shoot now. Don't bother coming because it's raining. And it has spoiled the shot, but you know what? We're going to make it work. Like we're going to find a way. Like, and it was just so amazing watching her like switch like roles so quickly, so easily, so effortlessly.
We could talk all day about this, actually. But what we want to do here is get people to go see the series.
Yeah.
Find Adesua in the series. Find Lara. Find Zuri. Find
Tammy.
Tammy and Ladu.
And Ladu. And you guys have become sisters after this happened.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, in the industry, you see people from a distance, you appreciate their work. But when you get to work together, you get to feel the essence of the work you've been watching on the screen. And I think that happened with this. And they say women don't work well. I'm sure people told us, Arese, I love that. With all these 5 women. But did we ever have a fight? We never did. We never had an argument.
What was interesting was for a lot of people warned me about actresses. The divaness I was going to have to deal with. But I was so lucky. Like I was so incredibly lucky. Because everybody came on this project with a certain energy, and it was like it was their project. Like they weren't just like acting in it.
So
like,
you taught them what? You taught their mumu button.
I don't know somehow.
Arese has one jazz. I don't know the jazz that she has, but she has something that before you know it, you carry this project on your head. It feels like it's your.
But I think it's a testament of who she is, and like you said, her journey. And so even for me as a producer, one of the things that in production that matters is like locations. And you can have this beautiful story, but you now shoot it in one home, and then you are saying that this is a rich man's house, but it does not look rich. And locations can stress you out.
Absolutely.
I always say all Arese's friends are executive producers on this show because they let us into their homes, they let us into their offices. She would make a call, and going with crew to people's homes. We will beg them, but they will still spoil something. And Arese's friends still did not defriend her.
So it's a testament to the person that
she is. Absolutely.
And a testament, I would say, to the story that she's telling.
Absolutely.
A testament to what people expect from it.
Yes.
And I would like all of us to round up by saying one word that you think, or maybe a phrase that you think this Smart Money Woman series will cause a change in. What are we expecting to see?
Okay. Speaking as Toni Tones, one major thing that I think Smart Money Woman is going to do is, I've mentioned this before, just the depiction of Africa. I love it so much. Africa and the women. I'm so excited for the world to see, because they don't get to see this every day. They're beautiful, they're strong, they're stylish, they're smart, they cry, they're emotional. I just love all of it. So the packaging of Africa to the rest of the world that this show does, I love, and I'm very excited about. As Lara, what's the question?
What should people watch out for?
Okay, as Lara, you're going to learn, they're going to watch a Smart Money Woman, and just the average person is going to sit down and think twice about their life and their finances and their relationship with money, and it will be for the better.
I'll start off with Adesua. Look forward to seeing a woman who's just like you, or who's just like your friend or your sister, who needs to be more, who needs to be stronger, who you see yourself through her eyes, and I hope you learn something from her as Adesua. As Lala, particularly as a producer, I want people to see that impossible is nothing. I want people to see that all you have to desire to do is just the will to do something, especially when something is bigger than you. And in Nigeria, there are many conversations around how things are difficult and things cannot be done. That is true. But in spite of the difficulty, we've birthed this show, we've birthed this first season. It may not be perfect, but it's a show that we've made with a lot of love and a lot of hard work. And we just want everybody to receive it, to celebrate it, because it's us. It's Nigerian, it's African, and it's authentic.
Sweetheart. Sweet boss, sorry. Sweet boss. Sweet boss.
Oh my god. I think definitely the message of financial education and making financial education cool is the purpose of why I do what I do. And I hope that this TV series kind of fosters more money conversations amongst women, but most importantly amongst our friendship circles, and seeing how, you know, we can be beautiful, we can be strong, we can also take charge of our careers and our money, and it can be cool. Like I wanted to start talking about money and our ambitions the way we talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah. Like, so I hope that this is what, you know, they take away from it.
So this is our Real Housewives of Nigeria and Africa. You know, and this is a function of a woman doesn't have to be a housewife, doesn't have to be whatever, but she's a sister. She's strong, she's intelligent, she knows money. If nothing else. She knows money.
And I want to say, where those people can relate in, people who have other people feeding off them financially against their will, or where they find that they can't control it. You watch the show and I feel like they'll draw power from somewhere. Watching Lara deal with her family,
black tax.
Because you become invested and you see yourself in that. Watching it, seeing it through somebody else's eyes, you'll be like, say no now for what's it. Tell Soji no.
So we're going to see bright colors, great acting, great story, good fashion, good location.
You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry,
you're gonna laugh, And I hope that people take notes from watching it. Like, take notes like, okay, how much do I spend on Ashwebi a month? You need to calculate that.
Definitely.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate this. Thank you, Adesua. Adesua says thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you. I've paid my dues. And I love your work. And thank you all. And thank you for watching. It's been Today's Woman Speaks with the Smart Money Woman series. Go and watch it.